budgeting and what's a good budget. So now let's talk about some more terminology. So match each of the following terms with the proper definition. What is a gross income? Zachary, what did you get? Okay, B, yeah. Gross income is basically the amount that you earn before anything that the government take away. What are some? Oh, okay, actually, that's my next question. So, gross is just your, for example, your annual salary. When you get that job that they offer you, they say your annual salary is 100K per year, something like that. Okay. What's a net income then? Yara? Sorry? After, right. After all the deductions. So which letter? F. Good. Okay, so after all the deductions, that's right. And what are deductions, Nicholas? Yep, yeah. So which one is the C? Yeah, that's right. So unfortunately, anything you make, you have to pay tax on. You have to do like, for example, CPP contribution, pensions, insurance, union fees, all that. So that 100K salary that they offered you, sorry, you're not getting 100K. After all the deductions, you're looking at more like 660. Yeah, 60K. You can write off some tax, but you still have to pay tax. You even have to pay tax on tax. Yeah, so it's horrible. And the thing that's worse is the more money you make, the more tax you have to pay to the government. Yeah, and the more you make, the more they pay. Yeah, so they know because the government knows. You're making so much. You don't mind if you give some to us. Yeah. But then for students, on the other hand, students where they don't make a lot, then they don't tax as much. EI contribution. What are EI contributions? Afnan. D, employment insurance. Yeah. So EI stands for employment insurance. Oh, what do they do? Good question. So employment insurance is no, well, that the employer pays for. You don't have to pay for that. So employment insurance is like, for example, dental. Okay, so if you have, kind of, but then the government usually pay that your employer pays for a part of it, and you have to pay a part of it. Okay. But a lot of good companies, because they want to give you incentives. Hey, come to my company. Don't work for Zachary. Work for me. I'll pay for your dental costs, for example. Then because of these little incentives, then people choose one over the other. You do have to pay a small portion, but they usually, for a good job, they pay for the big portion, and then you have to pay a small portion of it. Oh, yeah. CPP. What does CPP stand for? A. Yes, Canadian Canada Pension Plan. What is pension? When you retire, right? So I hate it because I'm young now and I want to spend my money now when I can still walk and eat and travel and all that. But then the government says, no, you have to plan for your future. And because we don't trust you in saving your money, we're going to save your money for you. Okay. So then every paycheck, they do take a amount away so that when it's time for retirement, they use that money to pay you back. So technically it sounds good. It sounds like the government is saving for you, but it is your money. And what are they doing with your money? They're doing like investment, they're paying out to other people. So it's like a snowball of money. So like the money that you pay in now pays for me when I retire. But then when it's your time to retire, somebody else's money is going to pay for your retirement and so forth. Yeah. But for me, I feel like I rather save my money myself. No? Yeah, see? Exactly. But you have no choice. Okay. Expenses. What are expenses? Cheryl, what are expenses? Yep, so E. Right. Expenses is either something that you want or something that you actually need. Okay. Last week we talked about needs and wants. What are something that we need? Food, shelter. What are something that we want? A car? New car. A Tesla. Okay. So things that are not necessary but are nice to have, those are wants. Okay, so this right here is a sample of an earning statement. So this is the reality. What where our 100K goes. All right, so um, this is a sample of an earning statement. You will see that it has the period. So how often do people usually get paid? Wait, look, look. Yeah, every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. And if you take a look at the dates right here, it is about uh, every 2 weeks. Okay, so bi-weekly pay. Um, okay, so reading off this, it means that the regular rate, ooh, $50 per hour. That's a pretty good pay. And they work 45 hours at that, so that means they get 2,250. They worked overtime. So for 5 hours, why is the overtime rate less? That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't overtime be more though? Yeah, so this should have been 75. It should have said 75. But okay, well, we'll go with it. We'll say that is $125. Okay. CPP, so the pension, see how much they take out? Does that mean they take out just $65 for the year? How often are they taking out that 65? Every 2 weeks, every paycheck, yes. And so the year to date, that means they've taken out this much already so far. Yeah. Okay. And then EI, they take another $28 out. So year to date, that's how much they've taken out. Income tax, yes, federal tax. The government wants their share. So this is just purely taxing you. You don't get it back. They they tax you for working in Canada. Okay. And you can see is that's the biggest amount. See? Whew. And then life insurance, it's optional, but a lot of why do people buy life insurance? Not rich, but yeah. So when you die, your family gets something because, like for example, I know it's very sad, but like for example, let's say the a family of four, the dad dies, the mom is gonna struggle with keeping up with the family. So then the life insurance, the insurance company would pay the mom some money so that they can still afford a living without that income. Do life insurance companies like take do they take the money of the deceased person? Or it's just whatever the person. Well, sadly, sadly, they still tax you on the the money that they pay out to you. So your beneficiary would take over that money. But guess what? That amount is also taxed. So if, like, let's say the dad works and the mom works, the mom makes 100K, the dad suddenly dies, and his account has like 500K in it, let's say. So that year, the mom's earning is actually 600,000 now, and she would have to pay a big chunk of tax on that. Yeah, even though that money was her husband's, but because now she suddenly has a big income that year, she has to pay. Yeah, so that's why a lot of people, instead of taking that lump sum of money from the dead husband, they take it out a little bit by a little bit so that it doesn't jack up their income for that year. But at the same time, you just lost a husband and you still have to worry about tax. So it's tax is a horrible thing. But why does government take tax then? Yeah, so what's the biggest expense? School, that's right. So it is coming back to you guys now. Yeah. So a lot of places, education is not free. So Canada, free education and healthcare. That's right. Healthcare and education is their biggest spending, and so that's why they have to collect the tax. U.S. they don't have health. Exactly. Yeah. It's like you call an ambulance, well, pay first. They would actually, yeah, like a lot of places don't have free medical. So, in reality, I'm telling you, in reality, if you go to like, for example, China, you go to China, you broke a leg. You could be sitting in that hospital hallway until they process your health card and realize that, okay, you do have health insurance, you can pay for it, then they'll treat your broken leg. A lot of people, if a local goes in there with a broken leg and they say, I don't have any money, I live on the street, they won't treat you. You have to pay for the service. In China, yeah. And a lot of other countries too. Uh, they, if you're 65 or older, they pay for it. So they only cover a certain amount of drugs. Yeah, because it is very expensive. Drugs is a big expense. So they figured uh, free healthcare or free prescription. And I think the healthcare was more important. Yeah. Not the only, but one of the best. And also, that's why I don't know if you noticed. That's why a lot of people retire in Canada because of when you get older, you get more illness, and so it makes sense that if you're in a country that covers healthcare, then you're covered. And then yeah, there's a lot of drugs that are not covered. So, for example, if, like, let's say you have cancer, knock on wood, and then you have to do chemo and all that and therapy, that is covered. But let's say you have hair loss problem, dermatology, you're full of pimples, they don't cover that then. So that's why sometimes this company, for example, have they offer life insurance. They offer like the other one that we were talking about, the what is it? employment insurance, and so forth. Yeah, so it depends on your employer what they would cover and what they won't. Okay, so so your year to date gross income is 40,000. Right? So remember what gross means? Gross means what you make. Okay, like what you not make, what they offer you, at the beginning. Yeah. Let's see how much they deducted. So year YTD stands for year to date. So let's add these up. 1495.69 plus 658.26 plus 7,035.70. Uh-huh. Okay. Year to date, they took away $9,552.59. Okay. So what is net pay? What do I do with these two numbers? Subtract them. 39675. Take away that. So your final pay, your final year to date net pay, 30,122.41. So roughly how much did they take away? A quarter. And in reality, sounds right. Yeah. So it's sad. It seems like you're making a lot, but then when you actually get it, a quarter of it is taken away. Okay? And out of these, the tax you don't get back. CPP you get back, but when you're 65, when you retire. Okay? No. Yeah. It's um. Well, I mean, if you live at home, yes. Remember, big spending is a housing. So if you live at home, then you can live off 30K. If you want to own your own home, definitely not. You can maybe rent a place with a roommate, but yeah, no, you can't. Okay. So for this paycheck alone, okay, so what about for this paycheck? We can see. So current total. So if you add up this to 2250 plus 125, so this paycheck you were supposed to get $2,375. These are deductions. Okay. 0.03, 28.62, 305.9, 10.84, 4.94. Okay. They took away, just like as we said, a quarter. Okay. So that means every 2 weeks, you get this. Okay. About $2,000. Okay. So every 2 weeks, 2,000, 4,000 a month. Okay. I can tell you my mortgage. My mortgage is about 4,000 a month. All right. So you have to make the choice of life. If you want to live in a nice detached home, then you have to pay a lot in the mortgage. If you are okay with living at home with your parents, or if you're okay with renting a place that you never own, then this will do. It's almost like food and shelter. Which do you rather have? It's sad, but in reality, that is how life works. And that's why your parents always say to you, it's very important to have a high level of education. So when you have good education, you can get a good job, and when you get a good job, you can get a higher paying job. And so even after all the deduction that they make, you can still get a nice paycheck at the end. So next thing we're gonna look at is appreciation and depreciation. What does appreciation mean? Yeah. And depreciation? Yeah, exactly. Right. So looking at these two investments right here. Okay. What's the first thing you notice about these two graphs? Yara.
The first one had like a lot of steep declines.
Declines, right? So going down. All right. Whereas the second one?
It's kind of
Stable, always going up, but very slowly. Good. Okay. So, um,
one is inconsistent and the other one is more stable.
yeah, it has its ups and down. So when it's going down, what does that mean? Yeah, you're losing money in your investment. All right, steadily, ste- steady upwards. Okay. What was the amount and duration of the investment? So how much did you invest? Let's read off the graph roughly. No, how much? How much at the beginning? What was your initial investment? They're the same. Their initial value is the same for both. Oh, that's very precise. I would just say 10,000. Looks like 10,000 to me. All right. And how long did you invest for? 9 years, right? Yeah. Your graph actually keeps going, but we'll say 9 plus. Okay. Which investment was more successful at the end of the term? Yeah, one. At the end of the term, which is at the end of 9 years, at the end of 9 years, number one was better. At the end of 9 years, investment one is at 16K. And then investment two is only at about 13K or 12K. Okay, so much better investment one. But what if I said at the end of 4 years? What about at the end of 4 years? Yeah. Okay, at the end of 4 years, what was investment one worth?
Only like 7,000.
Yeah, so it actually lost. It actually lost money. Whereas this one, it's at around 11, 500. So it made very little, but at least you still made money instead of this one losing money. So, the in 4 years, number one lost money. Number two made. Hi.
So like I didn't know that we can question two.
Oops, sorry. Question two. So the initial value and how long the investment was. So if you take a look at this, initial value is right here. So at the beginning, how much did you guys invest? You invested about 10,000. Okay. And then duration, this is 2, 4, 6, 8. So that means this right here is about 9 years. Which investment is more risky? One, definitely, because you can lose money. Number one, you can tell. Okay. You can make a lot, but you can also lose, but also lose a lot. Okay, high risk, high rewards. Can make a lot, but also lose a lot. Right? So if you were this person, right, would who would invest in investment one? Right? Ben is the risky person. Who would say investment two? Okay, come on, there's only 9 of you guys in here today. I want to see 9 hands up. Let me ask again. Who would who would put 10,000 in investment one?
Me.
So Cheryl and Ben. Who would do investment two? Okay, Faisal, what about you? I didn't see a hand up. Are you an investment one person or investment two person?
Investment one.
Investment one. How about Nathan? How about you? Are you an investment one person or investment two person? One? Okay, so the risky people, okay, would go. So I know who the risk takers are now in the class. But what could happen right here after this? It could go all the way down like this. Okay, but then small amount, small reward. Uh, yeah, you could, yeah, you could do a test run, but then the but the problem with that as well is it's like it's almost like gambling. You're I'll put in $1 for this one, and then the next one, okay, I'll try $5. Ooh, I'm winning. Now this one, let me put everything in, and then yeah, and then it's you, yeah, and then you're you're over 21. You're busted. Alright. So definitely number one is risky, but high risk, high rewards. Number two, steady income. Um, more like a GIC, I would say. So this is like a stock market where it could go up and down, and this is like a GIC, guaranteed income certificate, where you can't lose money, but the rate of growth is very slow. Okay, good job. Okay. Let's go to the back. We'll just talk about these two really quickly. Just down payment. I'll just talk about down payment quickly. Down payment. What are down payments? Yep. Upfront. Yes, that's the key. Upfront. Yeah. What are some big purchase that you'll make in life? House, car, right? So, house. How much is a house worth nowadays, roughly? Yeah, half a million, a million, 2 million. All right. So Nicholas, do you have $1 million at home in your piggy bank? No, neither do I. So yeah. So if you don't have the money but you want something, what do you have to do? You have to get a mortgage, right? You have to borrow that money. So in this case, a lot of people put a down payment down so that they pay less interest. What your lender will charge you, they don't lend you the money for free, but it's you pay less interest. So this example right here, let's say this house costs 650K. Wow, what a cheap house. You can see it has one window and one door only in this house. The buyer puts a 15% down payment. Convert the percent to a decimal, so 15% is 0.15. So when you times it, this person still have to have 97,500 in actual money, cash, in order to mortgage the rest. That's still a lot of money. So let's say we don't have that $1 million in our piggy bank, but how many of us actually have this amount in our piggy bank? Still not many. Yeah. So, uh, but people still have to put a down payment because one, the builder, they want to make sure that you do actually have some money, all right, so that you're not gonna just say I'm buying the house and then you walk away or you run away, okay, or you can, yeah, but they have to evac the home and kick you out and all that. Yes, that's right. So the down payment is also like a way for you to say, okay, I am buying your house. I'm not gonna lie, but if you do lie, you can take confiscate that money. Yeah, yeah, legal obligation. That's right. Okay. And the second, so for the seller, you have this protection for yourself that okay, no matter what, I will get 100K. I don't care if you forfeit afterwards. I will at least take take that money. Worst comes to worst, afterwards I put my house back on the market after to sell. Okay. Second though is also for the buyer so that instead of putting a mortgage on the whole $65,000, I just have to do a mortgage on the remaining, which is about 550,000. Okay. The lower your mortgage amount, the less interest you have to pay the bank. Okay. So it's in a way it's kind of like a win-win for both. A lot of a lot of places require a down payment, especially for a big purchase like a house. Okay. Uh, so we'll leave it at that. Tomorrow, so you could finish up the rest of these inquiry questions. Okay, these thinking questions right here. Tomorrow we are actually going to calculate the interest. Like then you'll really find out how much interest you have to pay for for this house.